Hi.
Hello. Hi. My name is Don Presant. I have been coming to ePIC conferences since 2004. I'm here because I believe in recognition. I came initially for e-portfolios and recognition of prior learning. I discovered open badges, however, in 2012 and brought them, actually had the honor of bringing them to the ePIC conference, and they have been growing like a virus ever since. I consider open badges and e-portfolios both just different aspects of recognition, and they can work together very well. I'm currently here this year wearing a humanitarian hat. I'm working on HPAS, which was formerly called the Humanitarian Passport Initiative, which is to essentially upskill the humanitarian workforce and volunteer force for emergency work and for aid. So I learned a lot this time around. One of the things that I was struggling with coming to this conference was this notion of bit of trust, even though I'm part of the group. I'm part of the group because I trust the people in the group, not because I entirely understand the concept, but I came a little further in terms of this and this notion of recognition. Recognition should not be something top down. It should be something that should be peer based or up or down. I think it can be a lot more democratic. That speaks directly to how we want to reinvent recognition for the humanitarian workforce, which consists 90% of people who actually live in the home countries that they're trying to help.
Okay, thank you for sharing this. So these thoughts of open recognition, could you elaborate a bit more on
Well, let me use the humanitarian context as an example. So I mentioned 90% of the workforce is what's called national staff. Typically, they are ruled by international staff who come from international NGOs and come in and basically start telling people locally what to do. And so the skills of the people who actually do the heavy lifting and make things happen are typically very poorly recognized. Even though they might be quite well educated going into the sector, the actual work they're doing in the humanitarian organizations is really poorly recognized. Yeah. So essentially recognition, the whole notion of recognition of prior learning, recognition of skills, is that you should be recognized for what you know and can do regardless of where you learned it. So you don't have to learn it at the University of Geneva or Harvard. You should be able to just demonstrate your learning and be recognized for that and be advanced for that in your workforce, develop as a person.
Thank you. And what did you acquire for the last days? This is the last day of the ePIC. Would you share that with us?
One of the reasons I come to these conferences is for ideas. That's actually the major reason. I like to recharge myself, recharge my ideas. So one of the things I really picked up on was the Badge Connect API that's been mentioned as a way of badges should not be stuck inside silos like learning has been stuck inside silos. People should be able to access their badges wherever they earned them and be able to apply them and curate them in ways that make sense for them in a particular situation. So that Badge Connect API will really help, I think, for our project HPAS. Okay. The other one, as I mentioned, is a bit of trust. One of those tensions in HPAS is the notion of trying to democratize the recognition of learning and maintaining standards and believability in an organization. Well, how do you balance those things? Right now, we're trying to promote standards and getting people to audit themselves against the standards. We're also looking for other ways of recognition that can possibly be more scalable, not quite so expensive, and yet good enough for the purpose at hand. And to me, that's one of the definitions of quality, is fitness for purpose.
Fitness for purpose. Thank you. What is your experience in general on the ePIC? What was the atmosphere?
The ePIC conference this year, I think it took another step up. I believe ePIC in 2016 was a bit of a watershed when we signed the Bologna Open Recognition Declaration. I think the second conference in Bologna was really interesting because some representatives from France came, were very interested, and that's led directly to it being hosted here at the CRI, the Centre pour Recherche Interdisciplinaire. And we hope we'll probably be coming back to France next year. I really see a movement happening in France, not only in the institutions, but also in regions. So we were hearing already about Bajon-la-Normandie. We're starting to hear about Bajon-le-Pas-de-Calais, and then what was it called? The one in Aquitaine, but it's not Bajon-l'Aquitaine, but it's so there are a number of regional and sectoral responses to this, and that's, I think, the potential for the power of badges to get it out of a single institution and get it into multiple stakeholders using badges to communicate.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Dan.
You're welcome.
Yeah.